Time now for NetCheck here on BON News. And as the fifth Chinese player to make the giant leap into the NBA, Sun Yue hasn't proved as successful as Yao Ming and Yi Jianlian. He's just been cut by his team, the New York Knicks, after recently being waived by the Los Angeles Lakers earlier this summer. Many Chinese media outlets have been talking about this, as have web users here in China. BON researcher Quincy Xiao has been looking into this, and we can join her now in the newsroom. Quincy, what's the reaction from China?
Most people online are saying that Sun Yue isn't actually good enough to play in NBA. They are saying it's reasonable he was cut by his team because of his poor skills. Much of the media coverage is analyzing the reason why he's been cut, and they are also talking about Sun's future.
And what do people think the future now holds for Sun Yue?
There is a split in opinion between net users and the media. Many web users say the CBA, the Chinese Basketball League, is his best choice, or perhaps he can have a career in the entertainment industry. But most media reports are more optimistic, such as one in the Chengdu business, which said Sun also has a lot of commercial value, and so it's still possible that Sun can stay in the NBA. At the moment, the Golden State Warriors and the Toronto Raptors are the most popular suggestions. Elsewhere, on Sun's Baidu fan club page, his fans are sad about the news, but say they hope he can still play in the NBA or in the NBA's developmental league.
Thanks, Quincy. Well, Mark, interesting that there are already suggestions that perhaps Sun Yue try a little lower, set the odds a little lower. Golden State Warriors has been mentioned, as we saw there.
That's right, or the Toronto Raptors. Certainly people here very keen to succeed, and he hasn't succeeded so far in the major New York or LA markets. But this is a guy who, if he wasn't Chinese, just wouldn't register even on the radar. He's played 28 minutes over 10 games. He scored 6 points in the NBA in his entire career, and they've just decided he's not good enough. The reason a lot of US teams would be desperate for him to succeed, as well as obviously Chinese basketball fans, is because he could be such a valuable marketing tool. If he was just a bench player, a reasonable bench player, and could get on a team, he could sell endless shirts, as we saw recently with the preseason games in Beijing and in Taipei. And it's not the first time, season after season, NBA teams are coming over to China. The sport and the league is so popular over here. His two options, really, are dropping down to the NBA Development League, which is a closer step to the NBA, obviously, if someone to get injured and he can get called up to one of the pro teams, or come back to China, more high profile in terms of fans in the stadium, but if his long-term goal is to get back into the NBA, that's going to be harder to do back from China. He's 24, so he's no longer, one of these up-and-coming youngsters. 6'9", unremarkable height, obviously, for basketball level. He's no Yao Ming, who's over 7 feet. But obviously, fans and media are very keen to see what happens to Sun Yue's future.
And we'll keep an eye on that.